Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, July 23rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses technical analysis and charts within your decision-making process as a trader, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of using charts to make good decisions as a trader, then this will be a video for you. And one quick note before we get started, just keep in the back of your mind that if you do enjoy what you hear and you're starting to see the value and you want to either just get better with using charts or maybe just don't know much about them at all, but do want to learn a whole lot more, then I am offering this free live class that you can get signed up for. So if you're watching on YouTube, down in the description box, if you're watching at claytrader.com, then somewhere, in the vicinity around this video, you can go and click and, get signed up for it. It is this evening, actually. So if it's too short of notice, I understand, but it will be recorded. So still sign up and then you will email you out the recording of it. But if you can make it live, then I just want to personally invite you to get signed up. Like I said, if you enjoy what you hear as I go through the content. First one here, ticker symbol AMC, and not a great day for this one at all. However, the one thing that really stood out was that volume dropped off here quite a bit compared to the days when it was, really cruising upwards. You can see that there was this upwards amount of volume, and now that it's pulling back, there's decreasing volume. And just from a very basic volume analysis standpoint, as any textbook will tell you, yeah, during pullbacks, you want to see volume drop off. And, as I, already showed with the arrow right there, volume has definitely been decreasing. Now, that doesn't mean that the price can't keep on going down, but just like I said, strictly from a volume analysis standpoint, that's what you want to see. But the big dynamic here that occurred was that the price actually now broken down below 38.75. So from just a good old-fashioned basic rules and technical analysis, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of attempted, leveling out here and then movement back to the upside, that's where the first big question mark comes into play. Can the price get back up above and stay above 38.75? If it can, then the next immediate area of resistance you would want to turn your attention to is that 200 period moving average, currently valid at right up there around, we'll call it 42.85. Now, as far as levels of support are concerned, current area here that really dug in quite a bit was right down there around, let's just call it the 37-ish area, give or take a little bit. In fact, let's just call it 36.75. If 36.75 is tested and can't quite hold up, then the next level that, no guarantees, but I don't think anybody would be shocked to see the price go down there and revisit at that point, would be the $35 mark. So again, as far as supports are concerned, headed into Friday, 36.75 and 35. And yes, the price has pulled back inside of kind of this previous range. But like I said, very low volume, so it's not like this was some sort of massive pullback on huge volume. And we'll see if the price can eventually, at least stabilize out on Friday to prepare for potentially another move upwards next week. Next one here, ticker symbol IGC, and just an absolutely monster one today in terms of the volume. And going into Friday, it's strictly, simply a play of, all right, is this, if you believe that this is just a little pullback and that there's going to be not even necessarily a full-blown reversal, but just a minimal pullback here and with a minimal move to the upside, then there could very well be a nice upwards play here. But I mean, if you think that this is just the beginning of the end and that this pullback is just going to keep on pulling back, then yeah, you would want to avoid this. But the good news here is that we have a very well-defined area of support now due to that pullback. We're right down there around $2.55. Essentially on three occasions, both there, and there, the price got down around that area. And to be, fair and give credit where credit's due, the bulls stepped up every single time and are like, no, bears, we're not going to let you push the price down any further. So as of now, it does seem as though 255 is a key level of support. But I mean, if the price goes down there and then just blasts down through it, at that point, it's probably game over. Sure, crazy things can happen and it can all of a sudden snap back up, but it's just from more of a just a probability type situation. The 255 really does seem to have become the line in the sand. Then the other nice thing about this is it's given us a very well-defined, giving us a very well-defined area of resistance right there. So if this is, like I said, maybe just a healthy consolidation, a healthy sideways price movement, and you enjoy playing breakouts, well, if it can consolidate out, get up through that line, and then get the break through it, am I saying that sends it up to highs all the way there? No, there's no way to know that. But I mean, could that produce a good amount of breakout and a good amount of upside buying pressure? Yeah, that's a more than valid thought to have. So keep your eye on these couple dynamics here, but certainly a very interesting setup moving in Friday, especially if you think that this whole pullback right now is just healthy and then it's just a basic consolidation before another move up. Next one here, ticker symbol IPA, and a very nice mover for us in the community today. So congratulations to all you members that watch these videos and then also played this. But anyways, nice movement here because what we have is a couple of nice dynamics. First dynamic is there's no more worries of, I don't know, is this FOMO, the fear of missing out? Am I chasing? Well, no. Now, if you're buying up there, then yeah, you totally were chasing. Not a good entry. But at this point, the price has not only, pulled back, but now the last 30 minutes spent returning back upwards. Now, does that mean that the price is for sure guaranteed to, continue on up? No, there's no guarantees, but is it at least a rational thought to think, okay, it's looking like strength is back, so therefore is the strength going to carry into Friday? Well, of course, that's a very logical thought process to have, and that's what we want. That's why charts are important and helpful, is they're helping us think in logical ways and not random ways, because if you just do stuff randomly, then yeah, you're not going to have any sort of long-lasting successful results. But if you're doing things in at least a logical framework, that doesn't mean you're going to guarantee to always make money, but at least there's logic behind it. So again, last 30 minutes showed some strength. So does that mean that anything's going to, for sure, up? Absolutely not. But there is a very well-defined area of resistance here right there at the 1550 mark. So if this 30 minutes does lead to some more upwards price movement, then yeah, as far as breakouts are concerned, 1550 is going to be an area that a lot of people are watching. And then as far as, kind of just the overall pattern right now, I'm going to put that trend line in play and also make that green to represent support. And then if, just to finish off the pattern here, let me put in the bull pole right there, and then I'll put a golf hole down there for you golfers out there. So what we would have here is a bull pennant pattern. So let's see how this pattern plays out and closes out the week. Next one here, ticker symbol CEMI, and what a crazy, crazy move on this one. I did this analysis in yesterday's top 10 list. And to be fair, if you're some sort of day trader, I mean, you ultimately had a great opportunity here. I mean, it broke out through that trend line and made almost a dollar move. Maybe even a little bit more than a dollar move. So if you're a scalper, I mean, a dollar move on a sub $10 stock, I mean, that was a great move. That was a great percentage that you made. But I mean, it depends on strategy. If you were a greedy savage and you're like, no, I'm only happy unless this thing gives me 50% or 100%. Well, then, yeah, you were feeling good for a little bit. But then, wow, this thing just completely rolled back over. And, the main reason why I want to do this one is I know there's a lot of people out there that are watching this one. So is the party over? I'm not quite willing to go that far, but is the chart looking very, very sketchy? Yes, absolutely. And the level that I think is going to matter a whole lot right down there at that $4 mark, because to be fair, the price has been down around this general area several times before, including right there. And you can see that it's been, done a good job of holding. But if the price comes down to 4 and then just blast through that, at that point in time, that would literally be putting the price essentially in this kind of this no man's land of the chart. And whenever prices enter no man's lands, it's very hard to trade because there's just not as much data. So it comes back to then things just become a whole lot more random as opposed to having good logical thought processes for a decision-making process. So, $4 definitely very important. But yeah, like I said, whole lot of downwards momentum has shown up. So does that mean that's, game over? You can't quite say that yet, but I mean, to be thinking that way, I would say is more than valid. Next one here, ticker symbol WISA. And again, this one is simply based on basically one approach here. And that is, hey, you know what? This very well could be the beginning of the end. This could just be, one day a pump and dump, and this thing's just going to keep on crashing, which is very possible. Or maybe this thing is going to come down here, close this gap right around 425, and then give some sort of bounce. And not that it even has to bounce all the way back up to $7, but even if it made it halfway, a quarter of a way, compared to what would be risked, a very nice risk versus reward scenario. Now, if you're not good at honoring stop losses, if you don't even know what a stop loss is, well, then you shouldn't be trading, but that's a completely different video. But the point here being is it really revolves around this. Can this thing get down here? And if it does and bounce, awesome. If it doesn't and keeps on going down, well, you keep your risk very minimal. But if it does ultimately turn itself back up, then yeah, you could have a very nice reward compared to what was being risked in the first place. But again, this is all operating under the assumption that you're going to be disciplined, that you're going to honor a stop loss. But that's really what this comes down to is, yeah, nasty pullback. But is this going to be one of these crazy movers where it acts like it's game over, then kaboof, it turns back around? Very well could happen. No guarantees. But like I said, from just strictly a risk-reward scenario, an interesting setup here for sure on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol NURO, which I've been following pretty consistently in these top 10 videos. And overall today, super interesting setup now moving forward, but there is some perspective that goes into this, meaning if you bought right there on the open, I mean, you got stuck in a gap and trap. Nasty move. You're not really looking at this chart in a bullish light. But just taking a step back and looking at everything, very, very interesting because, yeah, at the beginning, things were looking very rough. Like I said, gap and trap came all the way down, but then the price leveled off, and then the price did start to head back upwards. Now, does that mean that this is guaranteed to go back up? Of course not. But again, along kind of the theme of today's video, is it random to think that? No, you have a rationale to say, hey, there's some strength. Can this strength continue? Well, let's see what happens, which is kind of oddly enough, right where this red line, which I used in the previous video, comes right back into play, right up there around the $30 mark. So $30 remains that key breakout point. You can see right there was a failed breakout, and then it, got rejected back down. So like I said, if this late day action here carries into more, then that's, I think, where a whole lot of people are going to be watching for the breakout at 30. And then as far as next levels of resistance, very well now established right up there. Look at that, at basically 38.75, right where the price got rejected both on Wednesday and then today on Thursday morning. As far as supports, nothing new, although I am actually going to adjust this level up here to the level right around the $21 mark. So as far as supports are concerned, like I said, $21, you have the newest level, and then you have the $17 mark down there. But yeah, Friday, can this thing make another move up to 30? Let's see what happens. Next one here, ticker symbol DIDI, and so much drama around this one right now. But as traders, drama, it shouldn't be feared. I mean, it should at least be accounted for and definitely monitored, because drama is what's going to lead to volatility. And I mean, this thing has just gotten beat down pretty much straight down today. And to really best illustrate this, let's just get this trend line in play here, which you can see is basically illustrating the fact, I mean, this thing has such a nasty angle on it. So my point here is that this thing has gotten beat down a whole lot today, but it's the rate, the speed at which it's been beaten down is not really sustainable. I mean, you can't think that this thing is just going to get pushed essentially straight down the entire, couple of days, next couple of days. Now, maybe it could, but I mean, really, is this thing really going to stay below that trend line? Which makes for an interesting scenario of, if this price can break that trend line, is that going to be kind of the leading indicator that, hey, this thing is ready to bounce upwards? And even if it's just a dead cat bounce, that could still be a profitable trade. But again, you got to be careful with these because there's very clearly a lot of downwards pressure. But, at any moment where that downwards pressure alleviates, which, again, well, how would you know when that's the case? Well, keep an eye on that trend line. Then that could definitely produce a very nice bounce. But as always, you got to be very good in the risk management department because this is definitely high risk, high reward in the sense of, I mean, if you get the bounce, it could bounce very, very big. However, if you're undisciplined and just keep on holding and hoping, well, then it could turn really, really rough. But overall, a lot of drama around this one. And let's see if this downwards pressure can continue at this speed or if it lets up, which then would create a bounce. Next one here, ticker symbol HPIL. We are down in the world of penny stocks. And this one I've done before, and this one can move, and it can move very big. And once again, it's just a question of, okay, hey, check this out. Big volume, nice price movement. Yeah, it's pulled back, which I would argue is a good thing because it goes back to, again, that concept of, I mean, am I chasing the price? Is it FOMO? Well, no, not at this point. I mean, it's pulled back. Now, maybe that's the start of something much bigger, but also, well, the flip side, maybe this is just a healthy consolidation of this thing is getting ready to go back up. But the point here being is that strength has returned, both via volume and the price. So the big question mark going into Friday is, okay, is this the start of something bigger? Maybe it's just a typical penny stock kind of one-day wonder where the price goes up and goes right back down. But at least volume is there because, a stock is only as good as the volume behind it. So volume is shown up. Check one is complete. Now it's just a question of can the price get more continuation? And, this is where the next key battleground comes into place right there around 0053. And then also you'll want to keep an eye on that pink line there, the 200 period moving average valued at 0056. So I guess maybe depending on your personal risk tolerance, maybe if you just want to make sure that everything has been cleared as far as resistances are concerned, you'd want to use the 0056 area right there. But like I said, the core dynamic here is that big volume, nice bounce today. So can this bounce continue to build more momentum on Friday and then go into next week? It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Next one here, ticker symbol NRXP, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched the past top 10 videos. But for those of you that did, then hopefully remember me putting in these areas of resistance. And for any of you that follow those resistance levels and just kept an eye on this one, I mean, congratulations. Buying on that breakout, what a move. Absolutely gigantic. Even if you bought on that breakout right there, got the move, pulled back, and is now starting to go back up. So like I said, for those of you that have watched the past top 10 videos and, just kept this down even on the bottom part of your watch list, because I understand volume did drop off quite a bit. So it was one of those situations where did everybody forget about it? Apparently not, because today, kaboom, volume back in. And as you saw, the price reacted very nicely with it. So now it's just a question of, hey, is this the start of something much bigger? And we have ourselves a very nice little pattern here. So let me just get this mapped out here as far as the pattern is concerned. So just, again, let's just change that to green to represent more of the bullish part of the pattern. And, you could call this a symmetrical triangle. You could call this a wedge, whatever floats your boat. The point here being is that not the name of the pattern, but the fact that right now it's looking like it might want to consolidate a little bit more, which brings up the question of no guarantees, but at least it's not random, excuse me. At least it's logical to be wondering, hey, we have a nice move, nice consolidation, but which way is it going to ultimately break out? So that's really the big, best way to summarize it here headed into Friday is we have ourselves a wedge symmetrical triangle. You can even call it probably a bull pennant pattern if you wanted to, but big movement. Now it's consolidating. So which way is it going to break? Let's see what happens on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol CLOV, a blast from the past, used to be very popular. And I don't know, maybe that's why this one suckered me in kind of and got me at least putting it on the top 10 list, because you got to acknowledge, the facts of the matter. The fact of the matter is today was just one big old gap and trap. Price opened up all the way there. I mean, think about it. Some poor souls were buying up there. And then from there, basically went right back down. But what does make this interesting is, yes, of course, the volume did return too. But the only reason why I'm going to put it on here is check out how the price respected that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average, very, very nicely. And just one of those situations where, our chart's perfect? Absolutely not. Nothing is perfect. But, just what a random spot for the price to have just bounced. All of a sudden, what? Right on the very well-known 50-period moving average. So the point here being is that the price respected that moving average. It's now started to go sideways. So maybe, just maybe, this is just going to be a temporary consolidation before the price, comes back to life again and makes another move up. Again, to be fair, maybe this is just a little breath before going back down, especially that there was the gap and trap today. But like I said, CLOV, maybe it's a little case of kind of nostalgia from when this thing was really booming. But like I said, interesting pattern here, well-defined. You have a well-defined support area. You have a well-defined area of resistance. So like the previous one, it's just kind of a question of, all right, well, which way does it ultimately want to go? But the good news is the volume is there. There's a well-defined pattern. So let's see how it plays out on Friday. And then finally, just to wrap things up, I want to offer up another personal invite here now that you've seen the entire video. If you did like what you heard, if you can see the potential, but you want to learn more about it or maybe just improve, then again, the class is Thursday, July 22nd. So this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, if you're watching this and it's too late because it's already passed, or maybe it's just too late of notice, then still get signed up because it will be recorded. And like I said, if you're watching this too late and it's already all happened, then just reach out to me and I'd be happy to still send you a recording of it. But like I said, please get signed up. Like I said, but apparently I like to say, like I said, but as far as just improving on charts, learning more about charts, you're going to get all that here. And like I said, just want to, I like to say that apparently. I want to just personally invite you. As far as this top 10 video is concerned, real quick, if you do enjoy this format and if you want me to keep making videos like this, then two things please do. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment, even if it's just thanks. But hitting the like button, leaving a basic comment, those communicate to me, hey, Clay, please keep doing these videos. And as long as I know that there's interest in these videos, then I'll spend my time doing them. But from a time management standpoint, I don't want to waste my time. But if I know that it's not a waste, then I will keep doing them. And again, you can communicate to me that it's not a waste by hitting the like button and leaving a very basic comment below. And then again, if you're interested in learning more about charts, how to use them, how they should be used, why they're powerful, then definitely get signed up for the class.